You're listening to this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. It would greatly benefit the show. Hello and welcome to Movie Bears with the Farx brothers. I'm Kirk.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Nick.
This is our first video episode. I'm going to sometimes look at the camera as like we're talking to the guest, or excuse me, the audience, instead of just breaking the fourth wall. Now I can literally break the fourth wall. Damian Walker. What of your multi-hyphenates would you like to be introduced as first?
That's a great question.
Thank you. I'm good at this.
I typically go writer, producer, festival director.
Well, so festival director will come last now.
Yes.
Let's go all the way back to when this began.
Sure.
When did this begin?
When did what began?
You making movies. What year is it? Where are you in your life? How does
2004.
Okay, so 20 plus years ago, 21 years ago.
Spanish class.
Spanish.
High school.
Whoa.
I made my first short film for a Spanish class.
Okay.
That would be the introduction for me into filmmaking. Made what movie was that? Blair Witch Project parody in Spanish.
How did that turn out?
Terrible. It was myself and my two friends were the lead actors and the writers, producers, directors, editors. We did everything for it. For a class project, it went over very well. And then from there, I didn't do a film project until the 2005 48-hour film project. And that kind of officially kicked off my actual filmmaking career.
So 1 year later, you did a 48. How did you hear about 48 then?
I overheard some people talking about it at the movie theater I worked at. So
You were eavesdropping?
Yes, very much.
All right.
I'm glad the guest now gets to see how me laughing and the guest like, what did you just ask me?
We're on a video for the first time, so that was a little bit awkward.
That's called Movie Baiters with the Farx brothers. There's
Fair
a bait, and then we're the brothers.
Gotcha.
So you worked in a movie. So you took Spanish, worked in a movie theater.
Correct.
And then the year after you made your first movie, you heard about 48-hour film festival while eavesdropping.
Correct.
And tell me more, please, about that. Yeah.
So yeah, a bunch of us working at the movie theater were very much interested into continuing doing filmmaking. And by me spying on other people, listening to what they were talking about, it definitely provided us an avenue to actually get out there and make a film. So that's how we got together, some of us co-workers at the movie theater, and formed a filmmaking team and did our first 48 in 2005.
Was that the first year, 48?
2004 was the first year in Minneapolis.
The year before?
Correct.
Okay. And now you're the director of the 48-hour film project.
Co-director, yes.
Excuse me. Sorry, Nathan. You're the other director.
Yes.
How many teams were participating back in 2005, the second year of the...
So I was so green at that point, I had no idea. All I knew was I was making a film.
All right.
I know later on in around 2008, 2009, Minneapolis had about a little over 100 teams that participated. So since it was so early on, I would imagine it wasn't a lot of teams back in 2005 because it was just new and the city hadn't heard of the festival before. So I'm guessing it took a while to build it a little bit, but it exploded pretty quickly after it was introduced in Minneapolis.
R.T. Ryback was the mayor when they had like a downtown party or something, and he showed up there. And I've heard stories from, who's the guy who ran 50/50 for a while? That's
Ira Livingston.
Ira Livingston. Love you, Ira. If you're ever back in town, come on the show. He was talking about how like it was so big, and then he ran 48 for a while, and then he went and did 50/50. And so that brings us to what's brought you on the show today. Is do you want to explain what your new role is and what that means?
So I am now the festival director of the Zfest Film Festival. So previously it was Adam Colt who kind of founded the festival and built it up from the ground up from where it was. It originally just started off as a festival for the Z Systems company to just help filmmakers and kind of hopefully have synergy with their company and kind of showcase the product they have. It eventually grew to become its own independent nonprofit organization and running as an independent film festival with Z Systems as their founding father or
Founding sponsor,
founding
right?
sponsor.
Yeah.
Yes. So this year, Adam Colt decided he wanted to step down as the festival director. He had been doing it for 16 years, and that's quite a long period of time. So he was looking for somebody to take it over. And kind of some behind the scenes, it was kind of a situation where we needed to find a new festival director, or there was in jeopardy that the festival would just be over. It wouldn't continue moving forward.
What do you mean behind the scenes?
Just discussions about kind of what was the future of the film festival itself. And there was very much a potential that the festival would discontinue moving forward.
Let's say Zfest didn't happen in 2025, 2026. How would that affect the community, and maybe it would help to describe the community you feel that it services?
I think it would be a relatively big impact to the community. I see the Zfest Film Festival as probably the second biggest showcase for independent filmmakers in the state, outside of the Twin Cities Film Festival.
MSPIF can just go watch the Minneapolis St. Paul International Film Festival, the Old Money Festival, as I like to call it. Totally cool. You're ranking TCFF above Zfest. Kelly, come on the show. No,
it's true. I do.
All right, no, that's fine. People, this is a free country. You can have opinions
exactly.
for now. The FCC doesn't know about the show.
Right. Exactly. So
Brendan Carr, come on the show.
We get upwards of 50 to 60 filmmaking teams making films for the Zfest Film Festival, and that's a lot of productions in the state. A lot of them have paying gigs for filmmakers in the state too, so it helps progress the community in regards to being able to continue doing work and continue doing paid work, which I know is a big hot topic in the community these days. So I would say if Zfest was no longer a festival that was an opportunity for local filmmakers, that would be a big void in the state for filmmaking.
Okay. Wait, did you have something?
No, I was just wondering, like, how are you approached to run the festival?
So Adam and I have been having conversations for a couple years now about the potential of me coming on and being a part of the film festival. Those early discussions were primarily around maybe we work together and co-run the festival. But then things just kept on getting in the way of that. Life happens, wasn't able to make it work. I was also still enjoying being a filmmaker participating in the festival. So those didn't actually come to fruition from our initial conversations. But then based off of those initial conversations, we had conversations this year about kind of what the future of the festival looked like and the opportunity moving forward for me taking over.
Oh.
You said you were still enjoying being a filmmaker. What do you see as the delineation now that you've jumped to the administrative side?
So it was more being a filmmaker for the Zfest Film Festival. I don't see this move as me necessarily taking away me being a filmmaker. It does make it a little bit more difficult as the two primary competitions that I participate in, being the 48-Hour Film Project and Zfest Film Festival, I now run, so I can no longer participate in those. So it does offer the opportunity to start making films for other film festivals, both in and outside of the state.
What are those that you're looking at or targeting?
To be honest, really the main focus right now is working on developing a feature-length film. So I don't necessarily have any short films on the docket that I'm looking at producing, but we are trying to move forward with my filmmaking team on getting a feature-length film off the ground.
Got it. And you said you're a writer first, so you've written this feature, or you're writing this feature?
I have.
It's written.
It's first draft is written, currently out for reviews currently. Hopefully we will have those reviews done very shortly, and I'll be able to start on the second draft.
Okay, cool. And when are you looking to shoot that?
There's not necessarily a rush for that. I would love to be in production sometime next year, just to keep momentum going, but we're not going to rush anything. I want to get the script in the right place for all of us feeling comfortable moving forward with that. And then obviously the biggest challenge, securing funding. You never know if or how long that will take. So the idea is not to rush anything. I'm not necessarily looking at a hard deadline saying I want a feature done by the end of next year, but it would be nice to be in the progress of making the film in a significant way starting next year.
And hashtag date the bait. What was the score of the Vikings game today?
That's a good question. A lot to a little.
48-10. I thought you would have had that like that.
To be honest, I switched over to the Packer game because that ended up being a more exciting finale.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Vikings were winning, so you don't need to keep watching.
I was watching the Vikings game as a good upper Midwesterner who lives next to the stadium.
Once we started putting in our third stringers, I'm like, all right, I can check out some other games.
So Vikings had 48. That's what I'm gathering. As someone who knows nothing about football, that's what I'm gathering.
Against the Bengals, could you imagine driving up from Ohio for this stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that.
I was about to say,
It became a preseason game in the fourth quarter.
Dang, all right.
did the Packers win? I haven't checked yet.
No, they lost in spectacular fashion.
Damn it. Okay. Well, God bless the Jordan Love. We're all pulling for him.
They have a long drive home to sort through their feelings, I guess. Just like upside to it.
That's how that works. You mentioned paid work being a hot topic. What do you mean?
From my perspective, and I'm only speaking for myself, I view a lot of the community is very much focused on really only doing work if it's a paid opportunity. And I view that as something that has been a huge struggle for the 48-hour film project, because that has specific rules where all of the work has to be volunteer-based. And that has really taken a big impact of the number of participants in the 48-hour film project. The fact that a lot of people don't want to take their time working for free on a film project.
How many participants did you have in the past year's 48-hour film?
So we had 23 this last year.
23?
Yes.
Okay.
We had 24 the year before, so we're relatively staying stable here in the 20s, which is a decent number, but we're definitely looking at trying to grow that.
20s and 25, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because next year will be 2026. Are you guys going to do any of the horror ones or any of the other?
We would like to start doing that. The national chain of the 48-hour film project is doing a horror sci-fi online competition in October. So I don't know if that's going to be a consistent thing that might compete with us possibly doing one around the September-October timeframe, because that's the timeframe that makes sense to do like a horror film festival. But we had talked about, and by we I mean Nathan Block and I had talked about doing that, and we'd like to do more with the 48 if we can, doing like offshoot competitions outside of the primary one. So we'll see if that will come to fruition.
What's the motivation to do more?
Provide more opportunities for local filmmakers to make film and make films that get a local screening. So for me, that's a huge thing. Like, you want to make your work and you want to be able to show it in front of an audience. So being able to provide opportunities for that to happen is huge for us.
Have you rented screens before? I genuinely don't know off the top of my head. Like, outside of these festivals, have you ever rented a screen from one of your projects with your organization outside of 48 and Zfest?
We haven't done that yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been running 48 2 years, and this will be your first year running Zfest. Is that correct?
So this year was my first year running the 48. So I've only ran it 1 year.
Oh, okay.
And then this will be my first year running Zfest. So.
Oh, okay. So you're going to have your second year next year. That'll come up right after Zfest does. What is that? April and.
Yeah, typically the screenings are in April and May for Zfest, and then the 48 is typically in June.
And the infrastructure was kind of already laid out for you at Zfest, wasn't it? Like, they already have the system to submit your movies and do all the necessary paperwork. Is that kind of like trying to think of the person who works on that. Jaron, right? Is Jaron just kind of turning that system over to you, or is Jaron still on board?
So far, Jaron's still on board.
Okay.
So
big shout out to Jaron.
Yeah,
Love you.
Jaron's awesome. They are very awesome. So currently have the infrastructure. I will say that a lot of the infrastructure is sticking around because Adam is currently still kind of sticking around and helping me this year. That being said, moving forward, I'm not fully sure what that's going to look like. So we'll have to see. So they're, with new leadership and new people taking control, you have to make sure you're comfortable working with that person. They're so used to working with Adam. They've been working with him for 16 years, or for how long they've been a part of the festival. So we'll have to see what that looks like right now. But so far, the festival this year is kind of standing pat for what it had done last year.
Okay, so there not gonna be any big changes to the Zfest this year then?
There will be some differences. There'll be some changes, but hopefully nothing too significant that will really kind of rub people the wrong way, or say, oh, there's a new festival director and now everything's changing.
Can you tell us any of the changes now, or?
The big change is probably going to be the awards show, specifically around venue. One thing that I'll be candid about, the current award show costs a lot of money.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily currently the most sustainable thing. And just kind of, I want to be open and honest with everybody in this. A big thing is finding money. Money for filmmaking is everything. Same thing with running a festival. Money is everything. So being able to sustain a festival, we need to be able to run, operationally within our costs. The big thing will be finding sponsors and grants. That's the main thing that myself and the team is currently working on to really lessen the impact of any changes moving forward. The more sponsors we get and the more grants we can get, the less impact we would have on the festival and the least amount of changes we'd have to make. But pretty much any changes to the festival moving forward, at least this year, primarily would be due to financial reasons, just to make sure it's sustainable to be able to then move forward to the next year and keep it moving forward.
2 questions.
Yeah.
What are the types of, so it's going to be, what are the type of sponsors and what are the types of grants? You can tell me which one you want to answer first. You must be targeting a profile of sponsor, either someone local in the Minnesota community, I would guess, or someone involved in the industry, like John was getting Sony to make major donations in the past. And then grants, you have to target, I'm guessing things that are specific to Minnesota, the arts, etc. So
correct.
That was me vamping to give you a setup there.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. Right now, basically, we are keeping it as wide open as possible. We are going to be pursuing sponsors, as many as we can, local-based companies, but also kind of within industry also. I think we're positioned in a good way that we get a lot of eyeballs onto the festival. In regards to our screenings, sell out routinely for the premiere screenings it's a 230 seat auditorium. We're selling out 4 or 5 of those shows, so we have a good amount of people coming to watch the films, which would provide a good opportunity for companies to advertise their product and get their labeling out there. So the hope is we can kind of use the success we've had, especially over the last several years for Zfest, to garner that kind of interest. And then same with grants. We're just looking for kind of local arts-based grants, whatever we can to submit for, to hopefully get some of the opportunity to put some of that money into the festival to continue growing the arts in the community.
Did anything change between the grants that Zfest had access to? And candidly, I know that I think there were grants they got either prior to 2023 or 2024 that they didn't get in either 2023 or 2024. Are you aware of any of those that you can comfortably speak to?
People that know me, I'm an open book. I'm probably sharing more than I probably should be, but I don't really care.
I don't think that's I know all of this. Adam talked about it on the show when he was on.
It from what I've talked with Adam about, it's kind of off and on, as you kind of said it. Like some years the grants would go through, some years they won't. So it's all been kind of hit and miss in regards to, at least for the grant submissions. So we have applied for some grants this year, so we just have to wait and see if we get accepted for those. But that being said, I think the big opportunity for us is sponsorships. We're really putting a big push to try to get some sponsorships that would help grow the festival.
So again, like, are there specific industries you're targeting, size of business, anything that, so people could go, like, if someone saw this and was like, oh, hey, business that I know that's looking to sponsor something, this is why you should sponsor Zfest.
Really, I mean, we're open. I mean, because again, we garner to filmmakers, but also we get the family and friends of the filmmakers going to this premiere showings. So you have a wide breadth of potential audience that can look at your company that we might be advertising. So, definitely want to try to, get local-based companies since we're a Minnesota-based film festival. But also looking at industry, any type of industry-based company that might want to advertise, because you're getting in front of filmmakers and things like that. So really, I think those are probably our biggest potential gets, would be local-based companies and then filmmaking industry companies.
Why do any of this? Like, why did you want, why didn't you just keep making movies? Like, they approached me, I said no. So why did you say yes?
Because I'm a sucker.
Oh, wow, all right.
You wanted to have more fights with your wife?
Right, exactly. No, I've been doing this a long time in the Minnesota filmmaking space. So, like I said, I've been doing this since 2004, 2005. So really, I wanted an opportunity to give back, but also continue to grow what we currently have. I've already, from a short filmmaking perspective, I've sort of done everything that I really wanted to do in Minnesota. I played at Twin City Film Festival. I've taken first place at Zfest. I've taken first place at the 48-Hour Film Project many times. So I've kind of conquered all the goals I've had with all the local-based film opportunities in regards to short film. So it's an opportunity where I can continue to focus on developing feature-length projects, but also giving back and helping grow the local short filmmaking film community that really got me started.
Oh, that's a nice sentiment. I think that's great to be like, you're giving more of yourself to everybody else. But I'm wondering, how would you, Zfest, I kind of feel like Adam was saying, it's kind of in a place where it's not growing as much. How would you grow Zfest?
That's a great question. So really, it's looking at doing a lot more advertising. I don't think Zfest really historically has really done much advertising. It's all been word of mouth and through the Facebook groups and things like that. So really reaching out to the local, high schools and colleges and things like that, really trying to get that market. I know we've sort of expanded in that a little bit, but a lot of that have just been child actors who are now in college, and now they're kind of spreading the word to get some of those student filmmakers, but do a lot more advertising in regards to that. And going back to the sponsorship thing, if we can get more revenue coming into the film festival, it provides opportunities to do that even more and really get the word out. That being said, I don't want to necessarily scare or make a declaration, but I mean, there's always a possibility and discussion of, do we want to grow this to be more than just a Minnesota-based film opportunity? Do we want to expand it and grow it to be a bigger festival, offering in submissions from outside of the state? That's always open to discussions. That's currently not the plan. We're not necessarily looking at doing that, especially since we just had a turnover in leadership. But it's worth potentially having a discussion if it means, or does it mean trying to develop this type of competition in other states, like surrounding states. Like I know Wisconsin has a decent film community and things like that, and like try to grow a offshoot competition there. So
You're talking about franchising Zfest?
that's a possibility.
Well, I mean, it could be a bigger thing. It could be like a Midwest festival
exactly.
too. Yeah.
So there's always
That'd
those
be cool.
opportunities. There again, I don't want to scare anybody that we're not making it a non-Minnesota based competition yet. Just kind of spitballing of what the future could look like to really also try to grow and expand the competition.
What is the community and how do you scare them?
What
You specifically say,
do you mean?
hey, I don't want to scare people. How would you describe the community of folks that you think are submitting to Zfest?
I mean, the people that I've talked to really enjoy the fact that it's a Minnesota-centric competition. I wouldn't say it's a large majority, but people I've talked to really enjoy that is what Zfest is currently. So, discussing about possibly expanding it or changing it, people fear change.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wayne's World. I always love that quote. But I mean, change always, brings about hesitation in people at times. And so talking about potential change, even just changing the festival director to me, could make people hesitant about, wanting to participate. Will the festival look like what I'm used to it looking like? What's going to change? So, and just talking about potential changes could elicit people to question whether they want to participate in the festival or things like that. So,
I guess what I wanted to hear more about was like, how do you view our Minnesota filmmaking community locally in the Twin Cities, as a greater state of Minnesota, any of that sort of thing? And how are you able to diagnose it based on, I think you've given a little bit about your past, but...
I mean, in all honesty, I don't think I have the greatest view of the community in large. I have a good scope of it, based off of my experiences on Zfest and the 48-hour film project and things like that. But that's just, that's one part of the community. It's the short filmmaking community. There's a much bigger community out there too, that like I don't have like those who consistently submit to the Twin Cities Film Festival and the International Film Festival and things like that. I haven't really regularly participated in those. So, but from my perspective, the community at large is, a very passionate community that really wants it to grow in Minnesota. I don't hear a lot of people say, I have this film project, so I want to go to Canada and get, tax incentives or things like that. And like, I want to go here, like, where's the best place I can get tax breaks on my film festival or on my film project?
Canada definitely has better tax incentives than we do.
Exactly. But I don't hear people in Minnesota saying that. At least the circles I run in, they want to really grow the filmmaking in the state and really locally produce their content.
What do you think the barriers are to that in the state?
The barriers of
growing it in the state, yeah.
I mean, the big thing is if you truly want to break out and like make it big, quote unquote, make it big and things like that, we don't necessarily we don't have big star power drawing capability. People aren't dying to come to Minnesota to make a film. And there currently isn't a lot of money here. We don't see a multi-million-dollar productions going on that really get, talent coming in here and things like that and really growing the community. We see a lot of independently made, very micro budget or low budget features and things like that being made. But
well, there's cable movies being made up in Duluth.
Correct. Yeah.
Nick, did you have a thought? I've been watching your face.
No, that's true. Those movies are made for what though? Like
$2 million. The Hallmark movies on average, I think, are like
$2 million.
I'm not looking at the budgets, but I'm under the impression that that's because if you're doing a SAG movie, over $1 million it has to be SAG or something like that. And I know those are SAG projects, so when they're in the
they're for sure SAG.
I have to go look at the credits again.
I was under the impression these are being made for like $500,000 or
$600,000.
Yeah.
I know there's some like that. Like some of the Lifetime movies are definitely.
Okay, so maybe I'm thinking of the Lifetime stuff.
Yeah,
like
those are in the six figures.
We're going to film at the Glen Sheen Mansion for 20 days, and it's going to be $600,000.
Oh wow!
No insult, but like that's what it seems like.
Have you ever been to the Glen Sheen Mansion?
No, but I feel like I can just watch a lot of Lifetime movies and feel like I went there.
And I know I might have asked this question before, but I guess, and I might combine it with some other questions. What type of festival is Zfest? Like, what are the people who are doing it? Are these hobbyists, semi-professionals, professionals would be one way of viewing it. Are they, you mentioned going after high school students and college students. Is it more for students? What is the tent, the people under it, the soup, what are you putting in it? You know, however you want to take the metaphor.
I mean, it's for all of the above. I mean, we see the full spectrum of working professionals to hobbyists to students, and that's the great thing about Zfest. It brings out all the different types of filmmakers. The one big thing about Zfest is that, which is slightly different from other film festivals, you submit a film, you pay your registration fee, your film will get shown unless it gets disqualified due to content reasons and things like that.
Or you're banned?
What? Or you're banned.
Are there any current bans?
There are not.
There are no bans? No bans?
There are no bans. No bans.
Cool.
But you pay your fee, you make your movie, you will 100% get shown. Mm-hmm. And that is a huge drawing power of Zfest, which is, unlike other film festivals, you submit for it, you hope you get accepted into it, you may or may not.
I've had that experience of submitting and not getting it before.
I think we all have.
Oh, yes. I think we all have. What do you think, and this is not an indictment, maybe it's a way for you to ask for help, is what do you think some of your blind spots are about the broader community? You mentioned, hey, I'm focused on these areas. What are the places you're kind of like, I know this exists, but I don't know about this part of the community?
Well,
you said the TCF folks.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know that they're congealed as much as one might think.
I mean, like you guys even discussed it, the Lifetime movies and things like that, and like basically the broader feature-length filmmaking community, I'm not really that tapped into in the community currently. I don't get out to a lot of the galas or events and things like that.
Why not?
Family, work. Right now, film is a very, very strong hobby of mine. I'm not a professional filmmaker.
Oh.
So I don't do film for a living. I, in fact, completely opposite end of a creative spectrum for my career, working career, I should say.
You're not a 1099 or anything? You're just working for a 501c3? Zfest is a 501c3.
Non-profit?
Yeah. You guys don't know tax codes? Come on.
No, I don't know off the top of my head.
We're doing our 1099 right now. We're not doing our W-2. I love talking about taxes. That's why people tune in. So you're saying that possibly there's more of the folks who make their living either in 1099 or even some cases W-2 capacity if they're working for an agency or something like that.
Right.
Sure. I mean, like you've got Ryan Becken, who full-time filmmaker. Are you going to get rid of the All-Star category?
Yeah, that's going to be gone.
Okay. See,
100%.
Breaking news here. They are getting rid of the All-Star category.
Mm-hmm.
I only made them wait till the end of the episode. Over to you, sir.
Oh, are we wrapping up here then?
We got the scoop. This is the part people will talk about.
This is breaking news.
They're
We got the scoop
All-Star.
right.
It's been rumored. Like we broke him down for 30 minutes to get him to say that.
Well, we always ask our guest, Damian, to wrap up. Who should we ask to be on the podcast?
Because we're building a community. This is building of a community by having them on, having long-form conversations. There's been people on the show. Kirk said, "Well, they don't like you." I said, "I don't care.
Whoa,
We need to
all
have
right.
people on the show."
Coming out like that, don't we
How
on the
many
bus?
composers have you had on the show?
How many composers? At least 3 or 4
Two
now.
or three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. We're gonna put Michelob Lynch out there. Jeff Goldsmith.
Jeff
Why, you got a
Goldsmith.
composer to recommend?
Eric Richardson.
Oh yeah, I would like to have Eric on. I know him. It's a funny story about Eric Richardson. Nick will remember this. When we were getting music for something, he called us, asked some questions, and like, so here's the questions I had, and they were like very like thoughtful and kind of specific. And then I was like, okay, let me try to give you like a 1 or 2 paragraph answer over this phone while we're talking. He's like, yeah, sick, cool. And it's like just not the response I was expecting after the thought out question. And it was 5+ years ago at this point. I would have accused ChatGPT of writing the question for him, but I think he was just a soulful fellow and also has that sick, cool, man. That's great.
Very much so.
Is that what you like about him? Okay.
Well, Damian, thank you for joining us. We'll catch you guys on our next debate. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. For more JK Productions, find us on Instagram at JK Productions Team and on Facebook, JK Productions MN.